Alright guys, the weather let up just a little bit here. I'm going to try to film a little bit of what I'm doing. It's hard to tell, but that kind of clear path right here where it's really light brown, that's just the trail running along the bank. Right here, a pinch point where everything's walking. We set a 1.5 right there, which it looks like we had a stick fall over the pan already, but I'm not too worried about it. On the other side of the bank, same exact thing. You can see my foothold, my footprints all through there, but don't worry about it. Try and find, there's what, right there between that rock and the grass, you can see where the trail really comes through at. So we actually lined this sucker. We got 2 dog proofs and 3 footholds down here, so it's looking pretty good, but this weather's really crappy today. That rain's been pretty rough on me. All right guys, the weather let up a bit here again. I want to show you, I saw these tracks in the road right here. There's a fence line, and I thought, that's a pretty good chance that's deer, but let's go see where they're going. So I followed these tracks over, and they go down over this little clump of grass, and I don't know if you can see it, but right there in the fence, they're going under. They can't be 1.5 feet tall at best. That tells me that this whole thing right here is being used by coyotes. We hung a snare, that you can see right there. I got a lot of faith in this one. It looks good. The only issue I'm worried about is when we caught all those coon yesterday, I threw them on top of my snares, so some of the poles have blood and stuff on them. But it's gonna rain, and the weather's kind of deteriorating, so best I can hope for is they wash them off. Ideally I like to keep all that stuff as scent free as possible, but nothing's perfect. So anyway, I just I thought it was deer, to be honest with you. The way it's cut down into the bank here, but there's actual, if I can find it again, right there, coyote track going up and down it. So I got a lot of faith in this spot. I really like the setup, and hopefully we have something here next couple days to show you guys. Alright guys, here we got another spot. This is just a nice trail going right next to a little cedar tree. Not gonna lie, as soon as I saw this, my first thought was coyotes. I was almost positive it was coyotes. How I figured out it wasn't, if you look way down here, you can see my footprints going up. I walked all the way up to the top of the fence and walked down the fence to this. There wasn't a gap in the fence. There's a tight woven wire, so coyotes can't go through that. So then I narrowed it down to coon, but I did not want to take my footprints right up this trail in case it deter anything from coming. So even when I set that conibear, even when I came from the side of it and set it, so I like this spot too. It looks good. That weather coming through tonight, I think they're supposed to get 2 to 3 inches or so up here. Not sure how they're gonna move, but I know we're set up for if they do move or the day after, it's gonna be good. Well, we got the first coon of the day here. The weather's really starting to spit pretty good here, so I don't know how much filming I'll be able to do, but this is actually that trail that's going to the cornfield. The only trail I found that's still actually going to food, but just coming down from a barn lot up here. So not the biggest coon, but with the weather we're having, I'm happy to grab them. We got some nice little ball of mud down here today. Set this one yesterday. You can see the trail coming down right from that tree. Really shocked didn't have one here yesterday. It was really nice location, but happy to see another one here. That weather's really kind of spitting some snow and rain and really windy, and we got Jeff over here in shorts, which whatever, but anyway, we're moving along. We've had a couple dead spots here, but we're only about a quarter of the way, if that, through the line, probably a fifth even. So anyway, we're gonna get down the road, guys. We're gonna try and get some more stuff set here this afternoon. All right, we're set up here back at the kind of old farmstead. We got one coon here for sure, and back over there trying to get underneath that building, we got us our second one at least. So the first 2 traps we can see right now have 2 coon in them, so I will not complain about that. Well, yesterday we caught my second ever coon in a bucket set. Today we got number 3 and number 4. So I'm starting to become a believer in these things. I've never been much for buckets in the past. They've never really worked for me, but just because something doesn't work for you at some point, some year, or some time of year, doesn't mean it doesn't work in general. Feel free to always try things, throughout the year, throughout the season. Just, like I said, it might not work in the fall, but it might work late season. it might not work late season, but might work in the fall. So always be willing to try things, some new things, and experiment. This is definitely a game changer for me. I got probably a dozen of these buckets, but I think come next year we're probably gonna have, I bet we're gonna be running 2-3 dozen at least. So I'm pumped up about it. This is our second double, so things are looking good. Well, this is definitely a setup that I am not used to running. We got a coon right here inside this silo. I just kind of wedged the DP, the bottom of it between that steel bar and the concrete of it. Definitely something I'm not used to. We actually saw a raccoon sitting at the top of this sucker and we're setting 2 days ago. And Jeff bet me $100 we'd have one yesterday, and we didn't, so I'm still waiting for that. But, anyway, it's definitely something I'm not used to, setting these barnyards, but you know, we had a triple on one yesterday, and we got at least one here today, so there's definitely something to be looked into setting these in the future. We got a really nice trail here, winding down through this little timber, coming down, and you can see, you know, right through the snow where they're going into this tube that I'm standing on. Just a really good, really nice mature timber here, going to another timber, kind of a creek system behind us. So we got done checking traps. A little slower today. I'm not sure what we ended up with, but we're setting more. I got another couple hours of daylight left, and we're gonna hammer out as many as we can. Tomorrow should be a really good day. All right, we got a snare hung here. It's kind of hard to tell, but if you look right on top of the snow, and even in the impressions in the snow a little bit, there's a nice trail coming out down here. We go over to the other side of the road, and you can actually see the coyote tracks going under the fence. That's kind of a tail sign too. If you have tracks that go consistently under a fence, you know, it's not a jump spot on each side, and it's going under, and it's that low to the ground. I mean, that wire is probably only 10 inches off the ground or so. That's a dog going underneath. Coyotes aren't gonna do that. Just a long fence line going up to timber back on my side. But it's about 4:30, 4:40 here in the afternoon. Snow's coming down, front's getting here for sure. But we're about ready to wrap up the day setting, but it's been a good day. Not sure on the coon count yet. We're gonna work that out when I get home, but we're moving right along, staying busy, that's for sure.